ceiling, and insulation problems. Inadequate attic insulation is the leading contributor to high energy bills, cold rooms, and ice dams. Great news, the energy-efficient pros at Snap Construction can fix it all. Stop the heat from leaking out and save. Call 612-333-SNAP or visit snapconstruction.com for your free infrared energy inspection. Install with Snap Construction and qualify for over $750 in rebates and incentives. State and city programs are now offering 0% financing for qualifying insulation upgrades. So call Snap Construction for your free insulation energy consultation and start saving on your energy bills. Call 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP. Or visit snapconstruction.com. Snap Construction is arguably the most well-reviewed insulation and exterior contractor in the metro area.
Crooner's Supper Club invites you to enjoy drinks, a delicious dinner, and live music from both big-name local and national artists in a wide array of styles. Before or after your show, check out the new Maggie's Lounge, a perfect spot to visit with friends. It's open Wednesdays through Sundays beginning at 4:30 with cocktails and light fare. And you don't need a ticket to enjoy the great atmosphere of Maggie's. Crooner's Supper Club off Moore Lake and Highway 65. A little piece of old school nightlife in the 21st century.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of 24, then Wednesday, clearing with a high of 47. The nights are getting colder, but the music is still the hottest at Crooner's Supper Club in Fridley. Crooner's is located just north of I-694 off Highway 65 and Moore Lake Drive. View their upcoming music schedules and food menus at croonersloungemn.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken.
And this is Ghostbox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakken. Thank you very much for joining me. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I first of all want to start off with an apology for not being on last night. We were supposed to have Tim Rayborn on. We're talking about some of the scary Christmas lore that is all around the world, and we were going to talk about that, but I was unable to do the show last night, so we're going to move him to next week. He's going to be fantastic. I would like to thank Tim for being very flexible with his schedule with me. That was fantastic. But I'll tell you, you're gone for a day and they move everything around on you. And normally I'm talking about like the office supplies and stuff. I'm talking about shows. They moved the shows around on me. When did that happen? Now Rick Smith is not on before me. It's Patty Vasquez. Driving Home Patty Vasquez is now on before me. And then after me is Stephanie Miller, Matt McNeil, our drive time. He is now on, has an hour on WCPT. Wow, you got a day and they change it all around. It's like they don't want me. They don't want me to find my way out here or something. They're going to move the building next. I don't know. There was talk at one point that we would extend the program to 2 hours. I don't know. I don't know how well that would work yet. If you all think that a 2-hour show would be interesting, send me a note. Send me a note at comment at am950radio.com or comment at ghostboxradio.com if you'd like to see the show extended to 2 hours. We're always talking about how to keep the show lively and fun, and we kind of threw that idea around. We're not sure if that's the right thing to do, but if you think about it and you think that's worthwhile, if you would be interested in listening to 2 hours of this, then let me know. That'd be fantastic. It's my favorite time of year. And I don't mean Christmas. I mean, yeah, Christmas is great and everything. But, I really enjoyed October because we had the psychic fair that was also very heavily Halloween themed with French Quarter Medium Maria Shaw and Shar Savoy was with us in October. I have them both back tonight as we're talking about the Psychic Fun Fair that's happening this Saturday, December 9th, and Sunday, December 10th. This is going to be fantastic. And my dear friends, this is at is it called the Minneapolis or is it the Bloomington Marriott or the Minneapolis Marriott? I always forget. It's the one right by the airport.
Yeah, it's the Marriott Minneapolis Airport Hotel, but it's actually across from the Mall of America. It used to be the old Thunderbird for people that remember that. Yeah, so it's actually across from the mall, Marriott Minneapolis Airport Hotel.
So I got like 3 of the words right. I mean, that you got to give me something for that, right? E for effort, right?
That's right.
Tonight, I'm so happy to be joined by Maria Shaw and by Shar Savoy that you may have heard on such programs as this one. And it's always great to have you both on here. How are you both doing tonight? Maria, how are you doing?
Doing great. I'm sitting here in New York City and having a wonderful week here, doing some shopping for the fair, some wholesale shopping. And then I'm going to go see the Rockettes tomorrow and just enjoying, 'tis the season. It's just so pretty here in New York at this time.
Are you going to Rockefeller Center and taking a look at the tree and everything?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we're going to hit all the TJ Maxx's in town, too.
Wow. And Shar, how are you doing? I haven't seen you since yesterday. So,
right? I'm good. We got a little bit of snow today, so it's starting to look a little bit like the holidays, but
it is.
I don't think it's going to stay too long, but it was enough.
No, but it is. Yeah, like let's stop right now, right? No more. We had 1/4 of an inch. That's more than enough for the rest of the year. Thank you very much. I have to say, Maria, I'm very jealous of you being out in New York. Before the show started, we were talking. Last time I was in New York about 10 years ago, and back in my advertising agency days, I worked. I had vendors out in New York, and when I'd go out to New York, I would stay in their apartment. That the vendors had this beautiful apartment where you walk out the building, and to your left, like 2 blocks down, is Grand Central Station. You go to your right, you go up a block or so, and over a couple blocks is the Empire State Building. It was a pretty good deal, I'll tell you that much. That might have a reason why I haven't been back to New York, because I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay to stay anywhere.
It can be very pricey. You're absolutely right. And, after you stay in some place like that, that's going to be hard to compete with. You're going to get stuck in a little hotel that's probably the size of your closet, because a lot of the hotels here are very small.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. In my time, it's 11:11 in New York time.
Wow.
It's
Look at that.
11 there. Yeah. 11:11.
There we are. How wonderful. Now tell me, Maria, you are having a cocktail, I hope, as well.
Not yet. but
see how the show goes.
Christmas cocktail sounds really good. I may go down after the show if the bar's still open.
Yeah, that sounds really good. And Shar, we got ghost stories tomorrow, don't we?
We do. Yay.
I haven't done hardly any promoting for it. And I do apologize for that. It's been kind of an off month for Ghost Stories, but we are doing Ghost Stories and Beyond tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at Billy's Bar and Grill. Come on out. We'll talk ghost stories. We'll talk some holiday ghost stories and whatever else we want to. It's always a fun time. Half-price burgers. So I wanted to get that out of the way. Now, I have Maria on because we're talking about the Psychic Fun Fair that's happening this weekend. Maria, what can people expect coming out there this weekend? I mean, because it's so much fun. So many good people out there. What's happening this weekend?
Well, we have some fantastic psychic readers and healers available on a walk-in basis. The Psychic Fair, which is run by Christy, she does a great job, is $10 admission, and then you can pay the readers individually. We have a whole host of different types of mediums and psychics and healers. So just walk in and pick who you'd like to see. There is going to be a free pass for the 2-day convention, which is going to involve a lot of wonderful classes with some great speakers, local speakers, and myself. On Saturday at 10 a.m., I'm going to be giving my annual New Year's prediction lecture. And then we will have Shar, you're speaking on Saturday too, aren't you?
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Okay, I'll let her tell you about that. And then we have 2 other speakers, I believe, on Saturday. On Sunday morning, I'm doing the Crossing Over Gallery, where I connect with loved ones on the other side. And then Dr. Mary's speaking, and Char's got a really good class also in the early afternoon.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the greatest gift, which is you. And sometimes the holidays
Me?
can be you.
You're talking about me at this? Oh,
Of
okay.
course.
You.
Right? So the holidays can be stressful for lots of different reasons, or just really overwhelming. And sometimes just having that some grounding techniques and how to put up boundaries and how to just manage your own energy with all the different energies that are happening. And we've got all kind of astrological stuff happening too. So there's just a lot coming up in this next month or so. So it's just kind of a way to help protect yourself and get through it without pulling your hair out, hopefully.
Well, and that's the one thing I really need to point out here for folks. I mean, we've had a lot of listeners that have come out to the past fairs. They've come up. I'm not going to be able to make it this time, but people come out and they've always been so impressed by both of you, as well as the quality of everybody who is there. And I feel like that I don't think we say this enough, or I don't say it enough at when trying to entice people to come out for this, because you two are both so very talented and you're always so very good at what you do that it doesn't become a question, in my opinion, of you should come out. The question is more like, why aren't you coming out? Because this is really, there are so many good people. There's so many good opportunities to learn about yourself, to learn about other things, to meet new people. There is so much going on at this, Maria, that I'm really bummed I'm not going to be able to make it, but I really hope that we're able to entice some other folks who are listening tonight to come on out and check it out, because it's pretty incredible.
I agree. I think we have some of the best, and everybody that works with us really knows their stuff, and they have this genuine need and desire to help the community.
Yeah.
Some of these folks, like Sandy, has been doing this, the majority of her life. We have wonderful healers there as well. And the knowledge that you can get from all the individual speakers and lectures. And this year it's free. Next year we'll charge a ticket fee. We'll go back to the regular prices. This past year it was free because I'm celebrating my 30th year doing the psychic fairs around the country. But next year there will be a charge. So please come out, try us out if you haven't already. We appreciate all the people, the hundreds of people that come and see us on a regular basis over the year. But the holiday one is very special. You can feel that spirit, that spirit in the air, and everybody's usually in a very joyful mood. And it's a nice way to spend time with people of like mind, make some new friends, and kind of find out what the new year holds in store for you.
Well, and that's just it. And I mean, regardless of what people, their belief system is in terms of like, believing in what all of us do or not believing or whatever else. I mean, historically, the end of the year going to the beginning of the year is a time for new beginnings. We turn that into a time for new beginnings. Why not go check it out and see what it's all about, especially from I'm assuming from an astrological level, people could get some of that and figure out what all that means, which is something that is relatively new to me in terms of, since I started working a little bit more closely with you two, that it's just blows my mind how accurate that is in terms of, for people who don't take that seriously, how seriously you should take it.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people, once they get into astrology and find that it works, are hooked then. And astrology is actually a science. It's been around thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And I always say that astrology is a science, but the art's in the interpretation. Mm-hmm. And your astrology chart is a map of your life, and it can tell you where you're going, where you've been, what you're supposed to be doing. One of the biggest questions I get from clients nowadays is, what am I really here for? What is my purpose? Why am I here? I feel empty. I need to get put on my right path. What is the job that I was born to do? So astrology can uncover that too, as well as, hey, when am I going to make some money? When am I going to move? When am I going to meet the right one? So there's so many depths to it that if people would understand even a little bit of it, I think it will enhance their life. Like I said, knowledge is power.
When you were to cast it back a little bit to end of like mid to end 2019, going to 2020, we're going into lockdown. Were you able to see that, like, I don't even know what the right word is for? Is it a lull? Is it a pause? Is it just a change, like on a very large level of like basically what COVID was, what the lockdown was? Was that? Could you see that at that time or coming up to it? Maybe not specifically that, but there was big changes ahead.
Yeah, I predicted that period because of a Pluto transit. One of my astrologer friends actually predicted that there would be a disease or an infection. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she could see that it was a disease or an infection or a pandemic or epidemic. But I predicted a breaking down and rebuilding because of Pluto. And Pluto was very active then, and it's a planet that kind of destroys things. It breaks everything down. It makes things die out for a rebirth. And Pluto was opposing the United States. Because we're a Cancerian country. We're born July 4th, 1776, and Pluto was in Capricorn, the opposite sign. So I was predicting some major shifts and changes in our country with everything from jobs to the banking system to political. And I said we're all going to be forced in some way to just kind of break down our lives, and then we're going to have to rebuild it on the other side of that. And I think we all did in some way. I mean, the whole world shut down, not just the United States, but I think we all looked at our lives and said, okay, do I really want to go back to work, or am I happy being home with my family and working remotely? Should I stay in this career, or should I change it? Should I move to another area of the country? Yeah. And I think a lot of us had to look at ourselves, from also a spiritual perspective. A lot of people really got into more metaphysics and tapped into their spiritual side. So I think that a lot of blessings came out of that period, but we had to go through a death so we could have this rebirth.
Well, and the greatest respect to those who have lost relatives and loved ones during this period of time. So what I'm saying, I don't mean it lightly, but the history of Earth is all about tearing down and building up. That's what happens. As horrible it is when you have these forest fires that take out communities and property, and same with hurricanes. That is Earth. That is Earth constantly renewing itself, and it does it through to tearing down and building back up. So it's not unreasonable. It's not great. It doesn't. It's scary. It's hurtful, but it's not unreasonable to think that includes the population too, to some degree.
Yeah, and a lot of the souls, if you're looking from a spiritual perspective, a lot of people that exited the earth plane, then that was one of their exit points. That was when their soul decided to go, even if it was at the hands of someone else. And I know that's very, very hard to understand, believe, or even accept when you lost someone. I lost a couple people in that, not immediate family members, but friends and clients. So it was hard. But if you look at it from a spiritual perspective, I really believe that they are in a better place. It's sad for everybody that was left behind that they're missing them. But it very likely during that period, because of the Pluto transit, was a soul decision before they came over that they were going to make a shift or a change at that point.
So I promise we are going to we're going to brighten up the conversation here.
Yeah. Let's get Christmassy.
Right, exactly. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead, take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about stuff like what's the best time to have Christmas parties or to go shopping or whatever else, using what Maria's looking into. We'll keep the conversation going. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
In the heart of the Northeast, there lies a hidden beast, a dragon's lair at the crossroad, guarded by the maiden Mother Crone. A treasure trove of spells galore, discover incense, books, jewelry, and more. Just as the oracles foretold, this is where your mystery unfolds. As the shadows creep and the veil gets thin, do not fear what lies within. Magus Books is where your journey begins. Visit us at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis or online at magusbooks.com.
Hello, I'm Jody, also known as Witch Jody on social media. I opened Midwest Witchery and Healing in historic Stillwater because as a nurse, I love to help others. When you come and visit Midwest Witchery and Healing, you will find everything from divination and magical services, classes to ritual tools, jewelries, handcrafted candles, witchy gear, and much more. My store is a safe environment for all on their own unique path. Look for the purple door. Find out more at MidwestWitcheryHealing.com.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with MetamorphosisConnections.com. MetamorphosisConnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search MetamorphosisConnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on MetamorphosisConnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting MetamorphosisConnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's MetamorphosisConnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
If you go to shoprainbowrd.com, you will find an amazing variety of adult novelties, literally thousands of items that you can peruse in the privacy of your home and have shipped to your door. Plus, in the store, you can find swimwear, casual wear, underwear, everywhere. Rainbow Road is located at 109 West Grant Street near Loring Park. Gift cards are available for the hard to shop for. Go to shoprainbowrd.com.
And welcome back to Ghostbox Radio and AM 950. I'm Greg Bakken. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. We are talking tonight with French Quarter Medium, Maria Shaw, as well as Char Savoy from Metamorphosis Connection, as well as Charvinity. And Maria, before we go any further, Heather just had a drink recommendation for you, and that is hot chocolate and Bailey's would be awesome right now. Maybe it wasn't for you. It was just for her. I thought it was for you, but she's like, no, it'd be pretty good right now. But if anyone has any drink recommendations for Maria, pass them along. But it has to be a New York theme to it. I think. I think I like to have Manhattans in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. I'm serious. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds good. But thank you so much, Heather. I might take you up on that. Was it peppermint schnapps or butterscotch schnapps with hot chocolate is good too.
Wow,
you got me thinking here.
Yeah, well, no kidding. If you want to, step away early, you can. I just want to make sure. Yeah, now, let's see here. So we're talking about the Psychic Fun Fair that's this weekend, December 9th and 10th, at the Marriott by the airport across the street from Mall of America. Maria, is there a place that we could send folks to if they want to get more information and whatnot on this weekend's events?
Sure, they can go to mariashaw.com and there's a little search bar there, and you can just type in Minnesota or Minneapolis, and the place to register for the free tickets pops up, and it also gives you the schedule of all of our guest speakers, and we're going to be there 9 to 5 for the Psychic Fair, and there's going to be some holiday shopping too, I believe. So if you have friends that are into metaphysics and crystals, or somebody that may be hard to buy for, it's going to be a lot of really cool, fun-filled holiday themes and crystals and stones. So make sure you check that out. If you just want to come to shop, you're more than welcome. You can spend the whole weekend. You can spend a half hour, half a day. The good thing is you can drop by at any time and bounce in and out.
You can. And also, if you spend the whole day there, there's a restaurant on site at the hotel. There's also a Starbucks or some sort of coffee place in the lobby. So all sorts of good stuff. Now, Shar, You know, we've spent a lot of time doing these events, and I would have the table next to you, and I'd find people always saying how much you've helped them. What is something that you really gravitate towards when you do these events?
Just helping people, just knowing that I think sometimes people sit down, they don't really know what they need, but then they end up getting exactly what they need. And they didn't know what that was when they started. And that's just, it's so fun to just watch them have that moment of just, that's perfect. That's exactly what I needed. And I didn't know it, and to have that honor to be that person that gets to relay that message to them is just, I don't know. It's never me. It's coming from spirit. So it's just, I just get to be in the middle of it. And it's like, I'm just a happy messenger, So it's kind of fun to just kind of be a little part of that happiness and that peace or comfort for that person. That's, it's more than I could do as a person. Just, like, oh, hey, I just get to share in this with you. So it's good.
And I won't get too far into it, but I remember one person who felt like they needed to talk to you. Then they weren't so sure, and nothing against you. They didn't know what they needed, and they came back, and it was very important that they talked to you. And I mean, there's that interchange of energy that, is almost unspoken. I think that happens, that,
Yeah.
people are guided, and they may not completely, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but they may not completely know why, and that's part of the figuring it out, isn't it?
Yeah. It just kind of organically happens. And then you're there, and I never really know, what's going to happen, but like I said, it's just kind of fun to watch it unfold and to see them get that moment. And I mean, how precious is it to get a message from the other side or from your spirit guides? And because sometimes it's really hard to hear, even for me, it's hard to hear those messages and those voices. There's so much chaos in the world, and your brain gets in the way. And then to actually have a moment of clarity is just profound, I think. So I'm just happy to be a part of it and to just be able to help people find it. Or
I totally get that. I totally agree. I've not been for myself too much on getting a whole bunch of readings about from past loved ones and stuff. But one of the things that I absolutely love, and we've talked about this before. We've talked about this in about the crossover gallery. When I don't listen in when you're doing your readings, but you can't help but get the people's reaction when you all are picking up on something that only that they will know, that they will only understand, that, whether it's not like, keep playing baseball or, just like really random things, but that's enough for them to, just start to break down because it meant a lot to them. And Maria, that can never get old, can it?
No, that's probably one of the, and I'm sure Shar would agree, one of the most rewarding and most healing things, for everybody involved. I mean, it's such rewarding to be able to make somebody feel connected and happy, and it heals a lot of people. I mean, people say, you have no idea how much hearing from my dad or from my grandma through you has really helped me heal. It's helped our family move forward. So I think that it's a great gift that we're given. Everybody has intuition. Depends on how much you want to use it or how much you tap into it, but we were given this gift, and I'm just honored that people will choose us, to come and deliver these messages. But I'm still floored sometimes when spirit works through me, God works through me, and I'm just floored. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I picked that up. And you see people crying, but it's tears of joy.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I feel like that's one of the things that people want to know the most is Grandma Edith okay? That's the sort of thing that I find quite a bit doing that, and it's wonderful. It really is.
And I think one thing too, even outside of that, if I'm just sitting there and I don't have a reading going on, but somebody just comes up and asks me a random question about a crystal, or what is a psychic, what is a medium, and just being able to be in that space to answer those questions is just as important, because that kind of sometimes people walk in, they have no idea what they're doing there or what happens. And then just to answer that one little question, they're like, oh, okay. And then you can start to see that unfold too. So it's not always, it's about just being in that space and being available for whatever anybody needs.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Maria, are you doing like, I don't know if it was a gallery or whatever with Joe with his spirit box, or was it?
Joe won't be here
Okay.
for the Minneapolis show.
Okay.
I'm going to just come in and do the Crossing Over gallery. And I hope Shar can sit in if she's not too busy in the morning. And we're just going to deliver messages, whatever we pick up, to the audience. This is one of our most popular events. So we'll be doing that on Sunday morning. And then on Saturday, of course, I'm doing the 2024 predictions astrology lecture. And then I am sold out for Saturday for personal readings. I do have a couple openings left on Sunday, and those need to be pre-booked. But I'm going to offer readings this coming weekend at the fair. I usually only do them on Friday, but I'm not flying in till Friday night, later Friday afternoon. So I'm going to open up some spots for people on Sunday.
Got it. Now, maybe I need to join you all at the crossover gallery and up front with everyone, because Lynn says, shut your mouth, Greg. One of my grandmas was Edith. So there you go. I'm channeling over here. Look out here. Look out.
Oh my goodness. Hey, you never know. You never know.
So
you were directed by spirit to say, I mean, that's the first name that came to your head,
Yeah.
It could have been Edna, could have been Nellie. It was Edith.
And this isn't a disparagement towards the name Edith, but how many times do you hear that name, honestly? Really? I
don't know anybody but Edith Bunker. So.
About Edith Bunker. That's it. That's the only Edith I know. So one of the things too that I am learning is that there is a day to do everything. Like it doesn't necessarily mean that any given day you should do certain things. Like before the program, you were telling me that there are better days to go shopping for Christmas and for holidays than not. Am I correct?
That's correct. Using astrology.
So how does that work? What do you have anything for those who are out there shopping at Target?
Yes. So there's certain days that are better to snag bargains and get good deals, and days that you could overspend, and days probably to stay away from the malls or online. So I'm going to give you the dates that are coming up. We had a good day last Sunday and yesterday. The next days that are coming up are going to be actually the 9th and the 10th. On the 12th, it's a good day, but it's also a day that you could overspend because the moon is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and it does everything big. So you could blow your budget on the 12th and buy a lot of stuff you really don't need, or you overly are generous, and then you'll have a big credit card bill in January. But it is still a good day to get some bargains if you can control yourself. Now on the 13th, Mercury goes retrograde. You really don't want to make any big purchases from December 13th through January 1st with electronics, cell phones, a car, computer, because Mercury rules those things. So, I mean, people are still going to shop and buy those things. So you want to save your receipts. Make sure you save your receipts and know the refund policy December 13th through January 1st, because likely for a lot of people, the thing won't work. It'll be a lemon. Somebody don't want it. So just save your receipts, and you can buy other things, but except electronics and cars. So the good days to buy things are going to be the 17th and 18th, 22nd, 23rd, and even the 24th, even up to New Year's are good days to snag some bargains. So that is my suggestion. Oh, and also, if you're mailing any of these gifts or Christmas cards or whatever, try to get everything in the mail before the 13th, because Mercury also rules the mail. And there's going to be delays after the 13th with mail for sure, mail getting lost, delivered to the wrong place. I think it's going to be a zoo. It's going to be worse than normal. And I think we're going to have some weather challenges in certain parts of the country too, and that could delay the mail. So try to get everything out by the 13th or before.
We don't normally have Mercury retrograde during this time of year, do we?
We did last year,
We
not at
did last
that
year.
same time, but this is in the meat of, Christmas time, the 13th through the 1st. So this is going to be a little hairier, I think. Last year we had it, but I don't think I think it started earlier and ended before Christmas. I can't remember, but there's last 2 years now we've had Mercury retrograde during the holidays, and that I think that the positive side to all this is it's going to force us to slow down and really enjoy what the holidays are supposed to mean. And we don't have to be Rachel Ray and Martha Stewart. We don't have to. We can just take things easier, more simpler, and I think Mercury retrograde will force our hand at that.
It's not to get off topic, but I think that is such a good point, though, that and I know everyone likes to really splash it up for the holidays, and that's fantastic, make it very special and stuff, but it really does come down to just being able to spend time with those you love and care about, and having those moments, and not having your computer work because we're in Mercury retrograde. I think that I think that's a really good point. I don't know. I like I said before the show, I think I've been in Mercury retrograde now. I mean, it's not been this bad before, but I feel like the offset of Mercury retrograde has been with me for months. Like starting back in August, I noticed that electronics were not working for me. It's so weird. And like the other day, I was at the grocery store, and it was like one of those questions like, do you want any cash back? And I don't. So I'm hitting no on the little touch screen, and it's not working. And I'm keep hitting no, and it's not working with my finger. And the cashier, he just turns around, he touches it once, and it goes through. I don't know. It's like, I'm like, can I touch things? Can I feel it? Can anyone see me? Those are questions I'm like asking. I don't know. Is you hear about that? I mean, you had mentioned some stuff before the show, but it's just so weird. I mean, have you heard anyone else that's kind of been in that sort of technological lull, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know your chart, but you might have Saturn or a bad transit in the area that rules communication electronics, or you may have been born during a Mercury retrograde. So when we don't have a Mercury retrograde, you have to always play catch up. But when we do have a Mercury retrograde, you thrive. So, I mean, it could be something in your own chart too. But remember, we have Mercury retrograde 4 times a year, lasts about 3 weeks, and then we have a shadow period before and after. So there's a couple months out of the year we do have the Mercury retrogrades, and we have a lot of planets that have been retrograde this fall. And I think that's what you were picking up on, was also the planetary energy, because I think at one point we had 5 to 6 planets retrograde, and that slows a lot of things down too. But since then, we're now, like, every couple weeks or every month we have another planet that's going forward. Like the 3rd of December, we had Neptune go forward, and Neptune is a planet that makes things foggy and very deceptive. You don't feel like you're clear about anything. And so since that's going for, well, let's see, was that today? I'm trying to remember. Was it on the 3rd? I can't, you know what? I can't even remember. Mercury's retrograde in my head.
Yeah.
This week it's going forward, and everybody's going to feel more clarity. And they're going to think, oh, I get it now. So you'll see that happen too. And I want to say that happens tomorrow.
Awesome.
It's getting late, and I'm telling you what.
Nope.
But I know what happens this week. And when that does, you're going to have some sort of an aha moment, and you're going to feel like, I get it now. So something's going to become very clear.
I mean, I'm sorry. The amount of stuff that you're keeping track of is just incredible anyway. So no need to apologize about the time. You deserve that drink afterwards. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and take our second break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the best time to have parties as well during the season. I have a question for Maria I want to ask, and then I want to check in with Char about what's going on with Charvinity and the Metamorphosis connections. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
Feeling like people just don't get the vibrant rainbow unicorn that is your celestial essence? Have you been wondering how you stepped into this infernal, mundane timeline full of muggles, NPCs, and toilet paper shortages? Here at Magus Books and Herbs, we get you, and are staffed with real-life unicorns just waiting to help you rediscover your shine. So come explore your magical side with books, herbs, incense classes, and more at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis or online at magusbooks.com.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
Hello, I'm Jody, also known as Witch Jody on social media. I opened Midwest Witchery and Healing in historic Stillwater because as a nurse, I love to help others. When you come and visit Midwest Witchery and Healing, you will find everything from divination and magical services, classes to ritual tools, jewelries, handcrafted candles, witchy gear, and much more. My store is a safe environment for all on their own unique path. Look for the purple door. Find out more at MidwestWitcheryHealing.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of 24, then Wednesday, clearing with a high of 47. The nights are getting colder, but the music is still the hottest at Crooner's Supper Club in Fridley. Crooner's is located just north of I-694 off Highway 65 and Moore Lake Drive. View their upcoming music schedules and food menus at croonersloungemn.com.
And speaking of Witch Jody, we're going to have her on tomorrow on the program. We're going to be talking about seances. We're going to be talking also, if you have any questions for Witch Jody, she loves to answer questions from Midwest Witchery and Healing. Get those ready. We'll be talking tomorrow. Thursday, I am not in. We're going to be replaying an episode from August. We have Dave Schrader on. It's a live recording from the Anderson House. It's a great episode. Definitely check it out. I am going to be doing a program every Thursday for the next few months, Thursday evenings at 9. You can find it on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken on Facebook. It's called Myth or Mystery, and it's a great program, a panel show that I am hosting that we look at paranormal photos, audio, video, and we try to decide as a group whether or not this is actually paranormal or not. So once again, that's going to be happening this Thursday. You could catch it on my Facebook page, Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken. It's called Myth or Mystery. Friday, Casual Friday. So all sorts of good things coming up. So definitely check it out. We are talking with Maria Shaw and Char Savoy, and we've been talking about the Psychic Fun Fair that's happening this Saturday and Sunday, December 9th and 10th. And this is over at the Bloomington by the airport. You can get some more information about it over at mariashaw.com. And also, Shar, you put in the digital guide into the comments, I see, right?
I did, yes.
What is that you put in there for people to enjoy?
So you can click on it. It's a digital guide that has everything about the fair, all the readers in there, so you can see who's going to be there. They have links that you can click on if you want to pre-book with them. It has the schedule of all the speakers. So it has pretty much an overview of everything that's going to happen this weekend.
That is fantastic. And I've often said it, and I really do enjoy your graphic layouts in those, Shar. So those are really, really well done. So I appreciate you putting that into the comments. And then Maria, while we're talking about charts and stuff, that's something that you do for people, right? Obviously.
Yep, I do their birth charts, natal charts, and also I can look at a couple's chart and compare them together to see how compatible they are. I do something called Fated Friends and Lovers, where I take somebody's chart and match them up with anybody. I mean, if they want to know about their karmic connection with their husband or their wife or their dad or their child or a coworker. We can look to see what the karmic connection is, why these two met to begin with, how compatible they are, and what the lesson is between that specific pairing. So this astrology can just tell us so much. And it's a tool that we have that we can utilize. And I wish more and more people, I am seeing more and more people utilize it. A lot of younger people too. Come in to love astrology and understand it and want to study it. More and more younger people come into our shows, and a lot of them in their late teens, early 20s, know their sun sign, know their rising sign and their moon sign, and want to talk about where Venus is. And they know this stuff, and so it's so exciting.
That is really cool. To get something on the books with you, start off going to mariashaw.com.
That's right, mariashaw.com, and click on book a reading. I also have a service where if you just have one question, you can ask one question and then I'll record the answer and send it back to you. But you can also do phone readings, and I have a couple appointments left for Sunday afternoon, this Sunday at the fair in Bloomington.
Very nice. And I suppose the one question can't be, can I ask you 20 questions?
Yeah, no, it's got to be very specific. I do have some people say, what's up for 2024? Tell me what my future looks like. It's got to be something very specific, because I want to be able to focus in on the one thing, like, how does my job outlook for the new year? Am I going to get married next year? Am I going to meet somebody? One specific question for one question reading.
So not like, what does the next 50 years look for me?
Right.
Like for me? Okay.
And I've had people do that, so I've had to tell them, please be more specific.
Shar, what's going on with Metamorphosis Connection and Sharvinity? You got any fun updates for us?
Well, Metamorphosis Connections, we're just trugging along with everybody on the page. Lots of new members are joining, so this is great. We have some new newsletters that just went out. Maria's is going out tomorrow, so it's about the fair as well. So it's just a really great place for practitioners and businesses to come in and sign up, and I'll help promote you and help get you out there and share what you do. As far as Sharvinity goes, it's kind of a weird month because of holidays and stuff. It's kind of hard to schedule a whole lot. People are busy, but so we're still working on the empath classes coming up. Our paranormal class is just about ending, and then we also have in January pendulum basics are coming up, and how to read oracle cards, the art of manifesting. And I'll also be teaching the empath series starts over, and Reiki, how to be a Reiki practitioner. So lots coming in January.
Yeah, it sounds great. Now, if you're a business and you want to be listed with the Metamorphosis Connection, what's the best way to get started with that?
You can go right on to metamorphosisconnections.com, and there's a join me button. You can click that and join right up, or you can email me at shar@mconnectme.com, and you can ask me any questions you want, or find me on Facebook, or message the Metamorphosis page on Facebook, and I'd be more than happy to answer questions or set up a Zoom meeting and go over everything with you.
Now, if I sent you a question wondering what the next 50 years look like for me, would you be able to answer? Because I sent it to somewhere else and they told me that I need to be more specific. So,
well, I would say if you join the Metamorphosis Connections, the next 50 years would look amazing, because I would help you get out there and promote you like you wouldn't believe.
Wow, we got a show person in the house tonight. Look at that, Raz with Taz. My goodness. All right. Well, someone has to do it around here, and it's not going to be me. So let's do this. I told Maria I'd like to put her on the spot in a sense, because she has no idea what I'm going to ask her, and I did have a question for you, Maria. And I just if you're unable to, that is totally fine. But we have a lot of activity at this station in this building. We believe we have a lot of activity. Do you have any insight of anyone who is here that is making themselves known to us?
I actually pick up two. I think one of them is a man, and I think that I keep picking up like engineering or something working with the technical side of things. So somebody that used to work there a long time ago feels to me like he's there a lot in the late evening or real early morning hours during dead time. But I'm also picking up somebody that works there that got an attachment. So I don't know if that's you, Greg, or if it's somebody else that does. There's an attachment that somebody brought back. And I want to say it's from an old house. So if you guys recently went, well, maybe it wasn't that recent, but went to a house and investigated this house. And the house was built in the 1800s or the early 1900s. And I keep seeing was there like a big, and I'm not from Minnesota, I fly in and out. Was there like a big area that there was like lumber was a big industry back in the day in Minnesota?
Well, as it happens, Stillwater, I mean, there's many, but Stillwater, come to think of it. Yeah.
Okay. Did you or anybody that you know that works at the station do any investigations at an old house in Stillwater?
Not an old house, but we did something at what was called the Grand Garage. We did a show there, and there was a few of us from the station that were there, and we did, and Shar was at the broadcast as well, and we did it Halloween night.
Okay, was there an old house on that land at some point that maybe there was a murder or somebody burned down or something? You said this is an old garage.
Yeah, it's like it was originally for cars, and then it's been turned into an area for what you call it, shops and stuff. And what's interesting, when they renovated the building in the early 80s, it's filled with antiquities from other old buildings that were being torn down. So there is stuff in there that is not only is not from Stillwater, but it's from all sorts of different places, including doors, windows, like walls, a lot of stuff.
So old pieces of old houses from the late 1800s, early 1900s. That could be parts of the old house, parts of an old house.
Possibly.
I don't want to stretch it, but I feel like one of you guys that works there picked up an attachment from the lumber area back in the late 1900s, wherever you recently investigated, and brought it to the studio.
That's interesting. The only attachment I have is this thing we call talk radio, but it's
but I do pick up a man that worked in engineering or something, that the technical side or fixed things from a long time ago. It wasn't like in the last 2 years anybody passed. It was an older guy, and I want to say that I think that he was single. I don't think you know him. I don't think that you worked there long enough to know him.
No.
But it was, I mean, that was his whole life.
Somebody else picked up on the engineer, actually. Shar, was that you that picked up on the engineer?
No, it wasn't me.
Someone picked up on the engineer before. Someone had mentioned to me an engineer before. And one of the things is behind me, which you cannot see, is a whole open area that's there's glass and stuff, but there's all sorts of machinery and stuff back there. And when Adam is here, he's here Thursday and Fridays. Sometimes the light back there will come on by itself. It's never done so when I've been here, but when he's here, it's done so. And that's like the engineering area back there as well.
Okay, so we could be on to something. You may want to bring your equipment in and ask. It may not be a bad idea. I don't know if there was an engineer there by the name of Ted or something with a T.
Okay.
Ted or Theodore or Tony, something with a T.
I will ask and see if anybody remembers that name. And we are going to do at some point, we just never put it together. We're going to do an investigation live on Facebook of this place at some point.
Oh, okay.
So Lynette says, I don't remember his last name. I did work here at the station briefly years ago. I don't know. She has the name Marty. I'm not familiar with Marty. It's interesting. Very interesting. We have 2 minutes left, roughly. What about parties,
Yeah.
Maria? As far
Holiday
as
some of the best times to throw a holiday party is going to be the 17th, and actually the 22nd, 23rd, and 25th. So Christmas Day is going to be good day to have party, but ironically the 24th, Christmas Eve, is not a good time. Maybe that's a time to just kind of chill out, relax. And then the 27th of December is not a day that you want to go to a holiday party or host one. We have a Neptune Mars conjunction, arguments, people being problematic. But I will tell you, if you got an office party coming up the 6th through the 8th in this week, it should be a lot of fun. Go
out there. I haven't been to an office party in years. Boy, you always see people very differently at those parties, don't you? I don't know. It sounds like this would be a good time to go, though, to really see them differently.
Yeah, the 6th through the 8th are good for holiday parties. The 17th, what did I say? 22nd, 23rd, and 25th.
Wow, that is great. Hopefully that some of you take note of that. Before we head out here, just a couple things. First of all, don't forget tomorrow, 6:30 p.m., Ghost Stories and Beyond over at Billy's in Anoka. $10 to get in. Food is not included in that, but it is half price burgers tomorrow night. Shar and I will be there. And then this weekend, definitely make the time, get out there, go to the Psychic Fun Fair over in at the Bloomington Marriott over by the airport. You want more information, go to mariashaw.com. Maria and Shar, thank you so very much for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, we're going to have on Witch Jody, so get your questions ready. We're going to be talking about seances and anything that's on your mind. Everyone, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hi, Matt McNeil here. You're listening to the best progressive radio in Minnesota. It's AM 950, KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis.